Okay, so this is Deranged Airsoft. We had this is a viewer submission basically from our Facebook account where someone had some problem with their KWA mags, and we're kind of doing a quick overview of how to put it back together. They are having some jamming issues, and so we're just going to reinstall them. Took it apart, couldn't figure out how to get it back together. Right off the bat, these are pretty solid mags, I'd say. If you were to feel the difference in the polymers between the PTS and the KWA ones, I'd almost venture to say that whoever makes these makes these. The polymer is almost identical, and it's very sturdy. Like it feels the same. They're very, very nice. Another added benefit of when these go in, you have to use a screw on the bottom to hold it in place in the mag. I'll show that later. With the KWA mags, you don't have to do that. It's all held in by this spring, and then you just push the shell out. So a little bit of a nicer design on that aspect between the KWA mag and the PTS version 2 M mags, the 120 rounds. So, but I'll show you how to put these back together, and we'll get going. Alright, so here's your two shells, your two halves here, and they have a unique design follower. This one came to us broken, but this nub here, which your spring is going to attach to, should be glued, or should be kind of held to this. I'm not exactly sure what they use to glue it, because you touch it and it falls apart. It's very, very weak bond, whatever is holding these two together. And honestly, I don't think it's a very good design because of how long it is, and then having to push itself through this tract here. It really puts a lot of stress on that joint. So these may actually even break off on their own. We've tested one that we had broken, and we haven't had any problems with it, just even reinstalling it like this. So we'll continue to test and see if there's any other problems. If there is, we may have to re-glue it or kind of Dremel this out just a little bit, just enough to give it a cup to where they seal together and make a nice joint. But other than that, they seem to work well. And this just sits in that track like that. When you reinstall, make sure you use the bend part to fit into the bend here, so you just kind of follow the line. If you reverse it, stick it in the reverse, it won't even go in. So just be aware of that. Just put it in there like that. Then here's your spring, and then your base plate locking mechanism. You just slide it in, compress your springs a little bit, plop them right in, make sure they're snug, and that's pretty much it. Then your other half, just put it on there, snaps right in. And this is also something else that I found that I wasn't too fond of, was that they only have 4 screws holding these two shells together. And when you load the shell, it's putting an awful lot of stress on this line of the gearbox. And I actually can see when I was hand feeding it, just like this, the shell, that these two halves of the shell are starting to separate, just from the pressure that the BBs exert on the sides of the gear, the sides of this mag box. So whereas with the PTS one, you can see here's your feeding area. You have a screw right there, you have a screw right here, a screw right here, all along that main tract, and it doesn't allow it to separate quite as much as this one. When this one's separated, I could see all the way down to here, and you could see the BBs double stacking inside. So that might lead to some feeding issues. So if you're the person that kind of likes to slam the BBs in off the loader, I would be more gentle with that and kind of do just a nice gentle thumb push, so that you don't separate the two halves too much. And these just screw right back in, nice and easy. So, you know, if you're one that doesn't like to screw a lot of stuff in, this one has fewer screws than the PTS one, as you can see. It has the really nice fitting area. Also, we can take a picture of the two springs here. This is the PTS spring, and this is the KWA spring. And you can't see it on the thing, obviously, because you can't touch them. But if you were to hold both of these springs in your hands and do this, or even try to compress it, this KWA spring is much more flexible. And even if you were to take the two and load both mags and then hit the buttons, you would see the PTS one would shoot the BBs out farther than this one. So this spring that comes with your PTS mag or the versus the KWA mag, I would venture to say that this one is weaker than this spring. So if you're running a really high RPS, I would think you might have some difficulties with these. I've heard some people have, but I don't run that big of or that high of a RPS. All right, so installing the spring is real simple. Just put your little piece right in there, part of the follower. Just scoot your spring in here. I don't want to get these tangled up. And just feed it in. This is really simple. Same type of thing with the PTS. Fit it in there, and then you're going to kind of want to grab here and kind of pinch up. Let me get in the light a little bit more. But kind of grab and pull it up gently, and then scoot this back hook in there, just like that. Oh, now I'm trying to do it to where you can see it, and it's there. And you just push it. See, so it sits like that. You just push it through. Okay, and you do the same thing. I'll show you on the PTS one here. So the PTS just feeds in. And it goes in, just like that. And that's how you can stick it back together. To put it back in the mag, you just turn your mag, line up the fins here, put it in, base plate on, and you're done. And this base plate holds it right in place. Also, if you're looking at trying to figure out if these would use Ranger plates, they probably will, because they fit the PTS base plates also. So if you're looking to try to buy some Ranger plates, I would venture to say you'd be fine with it, that they will fit and work. So overall, these seem like pretty good mags. There are some really nice features in here that I like a little bit better than the PTS, just for the simple fact, like, you take this base plate off and the mag slides out the bottom, whereas with this one it goes in the top and it has to be held in by a screw. So that's another little just disadvantage between the two, I would say, but nothing that would be a deal breaker for either one. And also the ease of access for getting the spring out. Both are, I would say, equally, with slight advantage to the KWA, because you can see it, the tab pushes all the way through on this one, so you just kind of use your flathead screwdriver, whatever, and just kind of push it, and it'll pop out this other side where you can grab onto it. With the PTS one, you have to stick it in the side here and kind of put it underneath and just push up, and it will come right out. But just a little bit of a difference between the two. But overall, I'd say very, very comparable mags to PTS. They're all pretty much around the same price range. So, and then just put this one back in here, just so you can kind of see what they look like. I'll put the screw back in. And there you have it. There's a KWA 120 round mags, and then the PTS M 120 round mags. Kind of a little side-by-side comparison on how to reinstall or re-put together your KWA mags. So thanks for looking, and thanks to Colin for letting us look at these mags and try to take care of them for him. We'll get back to you with more testing and let you know. So stay tuned to Deranged Airsoft on Facebook, and also like our YouTube page for some more videos. And thanks for watching.